Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Pelletier Craft Studio. This is Elaine, and I am excited to be here with you today. We're going to continue to work with our embossing folders. Remember last week when we did our embossing folder, we did some coloring with the actual embossing folder itself. Now, if you'll remember, I took and actually colored the inside of the embossing folder, and then when I closed it and ran it through my machine, it made all of these beautiful colors. So if you haven't seen that, or if you want to know how I did that, I will post a link at the bottom of this video that will show you exactly how I did that. Now, as you come in, I want you to just say hello to me and let me know that you're here and that you found me, because we had to switch over from Facebook over to YouTube. So I just kind of want to know that everybody was able to locate me. So this is the embossing folder that we used last time. I'm going to use the exact same embossing folder today, and I've already run it through my Platinum 6. Love the Platinum 6. If you haven't heard about it, just let me know, and I will be more than happy to give you some information on it. Now, I'm going to be doing some stenciling today. Not everybody realizes that some embossing folders actually have stencils that go with them, and that makes it so much easier to do your coloring. Now, this is an Ultra set, so I do have my Ultra stencils with me, and that's how we're going to be doing our coloring. Now, a couple of things to let you know about. When you're doing stenciling, remember, everything may not come up in your stencil the first time. It may have a line down the middle, which would put you a different stencil on each one of the individual pieces. Now, I asked Cindy to get me set up today, and that should tell you all by yourself that Cindy set me up in purple. That child, when she dies, I'm going to paint her face purple. No, God's going to do it for me. There you go. She's coming back. She says, Elaine's talking about me. I got to come back to see what she says. So the first color that we're going to use is Lavender Fields. It, too, is an Altenew color. And remember, anytime that I teach you anything about coloring, I always start you off with the lightest color. And the reason we start off with our light colors is because it's easier to add than it is to take away. So let's add us a little bit of color to this. I am also very partial to the Altenew brushes. These mini brushes work so nice. They're great because they'll get in those little cracks and crevices for me, which will give me the dimension that I want out of this embossing folder. Now, embossing folders for me used to be something that just hung out in my craft room. Periodically, I would remember one. I'd do a little bit of white embossing and go on about my business. But that's not the case anymore. I have learned so many new techniques to do with embossing folders. Now, the one that I did last week, that's one that people were telling me they hadn't seen before. So I'm really happy that I was able to bring you something new. Now, notice all I'm doing is just putting my color down a little bit at a time. I am not trying to get it a super dark color, so I'm being very careful about how much ink I actually put on my brush. The other thing that you'll notice is that I'm not using streak marks. I'm actually doing it in circles. And by doing it in circles, I can have a little bit more control over what I'm doing. Well, I'm seeing that people are popping on. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. I think Cindy's looking to see if she can find me so she can get me over to Facebook as well. So for some reason, Facebook's mad with me. What can I say? It is what it is. I guess it's better they be a little bit mad with me than ignore me, right? All right, so this one right here is a stem that went to another flower. Now, because I didn't go up that high, I'm going to ignore that stem and just kind of let it stay where it's at. I'm not going to color it even when I get into coloring my stems. I do have one flower on here, one leaf on here that I will color while I'm doing the purple on the flowers as well. Now, I'll probably come back and do this a little bit darker, But remember, my goal right now is to just get down some color so that I can see what color I actually want my my gorgeous tulips to be. So I hope everybody's having the same beautiful weather that we are today. It's the perfect temperature outside, not too hot, not too cold. Uh, I'm sitting here, this should tell you. I'm sitting here and I'm holding this stencil just as hard as I can. Don't even realize, hey, I've got it on my Stamparatus. I don't have to hold it. I'm sorry, I have it on my stamping wheel. I don't even have to hold it. Ah, that was an ugly word, Elaine. Don't do that word no more. You'll have these people out there thinking I know something, and I don't, truthfully. I know a few things, but it's not things I really should know. Anyway, so there we go. So the stamping wheel is also an Altenew product. Gosh, everything I'm using today is Altenew. They ought to be paying me for this, but they're not. Just to let you know, I do sell their products on the inside of our retail store. If you haven't been to our retail store, you can find it on PelletierCraftStudio.com/shop. Woo-wee, I'm liking it. I'm liking this color. So again, I'm using the lavender feels. So it's not that true dark purple, but it certainly is pretty. There we go. All right, now I do have the green, and I am going to go ahead and do this in a shade of green while I have it here with me. I have Lori Strufy here with me today, and Lori is working on some things for our upcoming retreat. And that would be an awesome time for you to get to see some of the things that we do have on the inside of our retail store. Even if you're not scheduled to come to the retreat, you can come by the Marriott on Page Road at the Research Triangle Park anytime on Friday from 9 in the morning until 6 in the evening. And you can look around and see what we've got on the inside of our store. Okay, so I love the way you probably noticed that I have this cute little number up in the top of my card. Let's just put this one down. Do it with each one of my fingers. Now my card is a little bit bigger, or my paper that I'm working on is a little bit bigger than what I'm going to be using for my card. So I am going to need to trim it. So if you remember last time we did some embossing and debossing, and today we are only using the embossed side. I guess you could do a little debossing here, but I'm kind of partial to the embossing part. Let's move on over to my second color. My second color is going to be the Midnight Violet. And that's what I'm going to do the rest of my flower in. Now again, I'm putting on a very light coat just because I don't want to put it on too heavy. As I said, you will find that when you're working with stenciling, the nice thing about it is you can put it on, but it's almost impossible to take it off. So put your color on light to begin with. And then if you want it darker, you can go back and make it darker. Notice that I'm also creating the illusion. I'm making it a little darker at the bottom, and then I'm bringing it up a little bit lighter at the top. Now that is also done with my brush simply by just putting on a lighter coat. And I will do one of these a little bit darker just so you can see what it will look like if I put it on dark. Look at this. I love the way this is coming out. Tulips are one of my favorite flowers. You may have heard me say that before. So I think Cindy's over on Facebook helping people find me. Like I said, Facebook's mad with me today and wouldn't let me go on their site live. What can I say? Their loss. I know how to get you girls where we are. You do a great job. And we will post this video over on Facebook as a full completed video. It just means you didn't get to watch me live. I apologize for that. I hadn't thrown Cindy under the bus. Let's think. What can we do to throw Cindy under the bus? We always throw Cindy under the bus. Let me think a minute. Let me tell you what that child has done. She's just looking around. She ain't even saying anything.
What did I do?
She knows I got
here.
her. Yeah, she knows I got her. She knows I got her. She knows I'm on. She knows what I'm going to tell on her is going to be true. All right, so now we're going to put this one down. Now, this is most of my stems. It does have a few flowers on it, so we're going to want to watch where we come and put our color down. I'm also going to come back with a second color of green. I'm going to kind of do a mixture of the two, just because I don't want everything to be the same color. So here we go. We're doing a little bit of a mixture here. So let me tell you about Sandy. Let's see. So yesterday, we had the wonderful opportunity to go down to the lake. And while we were down there, we were looking around. Next thing I know, Cindy comes walking down the path to the boathouse. And what has she got? The camera on. She's saying everything. What can I? She's telling all my secrets, all my stories. You know how she is. She just gives it all away. But that's okay. We'll be letting you see those videos here before too long, but not today. What? There she goes, spilling that word.
Yeah.
There you go. That's not Cindy. That's the way she is. She can't keep secret around her.
Oh, okay, that house.
That house, that's right.
That house by the lake.
Yeah. The one that we like to craft in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's spilling my beans over here. We'll have to talk to her.
We don't say that word around here.
Beans, cocoa bean. Cocoa bean's my buddy. Woo! I'm really liking the way this is coming out. If you'll notice, I'm not cleaning my brush in between changing for my stems and my flowers. I'm just picking up whichever color I want to put down at the time. It does work very nice when you're using shades of green. Remember, foliage is never just one color. Woohoo! Right, Cindy?
That's right.
I think we need to see what we can do about getting Cindy back on video. Don't y'all think so? If you think so, then I want you to come on here and I want you to put on there. We want to see Cindy on video again. Her quick and easy cards, we're missing them, Cindy. She's not listening.
Nope.
She says, you got you. I hear you, but I don't hear you. That's the way my girl is. So we've been working to getting this retail store all set up. We're so excited. We got in several boxes today. Just great. Just looking great. It's really coming together nicely. And on top of all that, we've got our retreat coming up. So we got a lot of fantastic things going on around here. Let's trade off and do a little more of this purple for me. Now you may ask me if I can do the purple like I did the green, and I can, but I have to be a little bit more careful about how I do it, because when you mix the lavender feels with the darker lavender, it can disrupt the color of your ink pad a little bit. So you want to do it after you think you've probably got all of your ink off of it. Don't want it to be on it too thick. But again, using this stencil, I can marry these as much as I want to. I can add the color that I want to be darker at the bottom than at the top. There's just so many things that you can do when you're working with these little brushes, these little blending brushes, and the stencils. So let's see how our flower's coming out here. I think I got it all. And now for the big reveal.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wow.
Ooh, see? Didn't I have a good idea?
Pretty?
Oh, gotta give purple a chance.
Yes, I have to give purple a chance. All right. Gosh, I almost hate to cut this, Cindy. Have I really got to cut this off and make it smaller?
No.
Good.
We'll make a
So you'll
bigger
get me a 12 by 12 sheet of paper that I can make a 6 by 6 card out of. Cindy goes, "Oh my God! I know she didn't ask me to do that." All right. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the way this has come out. I am going to trim it up a little bit. God, I almost tore that thing. Woo! I'd have been upset if I had. There we go. All right, so let's put this down here. I've gotten myself a new trimmer, and we'll be showing you more about this trimmer. Probably, I don't know, we might even do it before the retreat, but I'll be showing you more about this trimmer. Really am enjoying it. It is called The Works, and it has 12 different devices on one trimmer. So there you go. I'm just taking off those little white edges that have a tendency to creep up on us. There we go. Alright, I don't want to take that end off at all. So let's see what size I am here. I might be able to get this down to a 5.5. There we go. Oh, I did tear it. I thought I did. Cindy, I tore my card. There you go. Alright, so look at that. Ooh, Cindy went off and found us something pretty. So we're going to cut this at a 6. Then I'm going to want to score it. And I will come back and score it at 6. Let me get my score piece out. And here it is. We're going to score it at 6. Alright. So now, like I said, I'll bring this beautiful trimmer out sometime and show it around to everybody. But today, we're going to be working on this beautiful card. Now, Cindy, are we going to do this card naked on the inside? Wow, I'm really liking the way this looks. Cindy goes, she goes, dang if I didn't tear my card. Pretty as daytime. There you go. I got it back down. I know how to put that down.
You have to stencil something on the inside.
I know, but I got to have a piece of paper to do it with.
I had a piece of paper for it. What'd you do with it?
I must have eat it. Sandy, did I eat it?
Well, you were throwing things around pretty good, so.
I probably did then. Oh my God, I love that. Look at how pretty that is. Wow. I don't even want to put anything, I don't want to put a sentiment or anything on it because it'll hide something. Look how gorgeous this is. Wow. I think Cindy outdone herself with her colors here. So Cindy said, I gave you some paper thing. What'd you do with it?
Well,
It was kind of little, Cindy.
Oh, no. You took it.
All right.
Let's go find another piece. Hold on.
She's working on me.
Keep talking.
Keep talking. What you want me to talk about, Cindy? So there's a couple of other things that you could do with this card too. So if you wanted to come back and do some inside coloring to this, you could. Inside coloring would mean that you would put a little bit of shading and coloring in here. But I'm going to tell you, I like it so well, I don't want to mess it up. I want to leave it very much like it is. I just think that these colors are perfect. What I am going to do, as soon as Cindy gets me that second sheet of paper, bless her heart, is I am going to do some inside stenciling, sort of like I did on this one. If you remember on this card, I came back in and I put some color on the inside of it. That's kind of what I'm going to do on the inside of this one as well, is I'll just come back in here and put some color in here on it. Here you go. She's got me all under control here.
Ding ding.
Ding ding. Thank you, Cindy. All right, so let's drop back in here and let's see. Oh, this would be pretty. Yes, and that would put me a little something at the top. So let's do number 2 first. And the reason I'm doing my number 2 first is because I want to make sure number 1 is in the center and number 2 is going to be on the outside. So we want to take and put in our number 2 first, just so we make sure that we've got enough room to get it on. Ooh. This is so pretty. And basically all I'm going to do is put this pretty little tulip in there. I'll decide whether I want this to be a birthday card or not at a later date. For the meantime, I don't think I'm going to put a sentiment on it. I am just super, super happy with the way that the stencil and all has come out. I really like the coloring. So I'll come back and put a sentiment itself on it at a later date. Who knows, if you're on my birthday list and you've been buying from us throughout the year, you might just end up getting this as your birthday card.
That's what's nice about not putting a sentiment on right away. That way you can decide later what you want to do with it.
There you go. I like that. I love those colors together. They are just gorgeous. Now we'll put this down. Another secret that I sometimes do, I got this one just a little bit too much on one side. So I'm going to put it down, add a little bit of excessive glue to the other side, and there you go. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, this is going to be our card for today. I am super excited to let you know that you can use your embossing folders in so many different ways. Now, it might be a little tough to believe, but these embossing folders are exactly the same, both of them, and I love the way they have come out. Look forward to seeing you next week when we'll be doing another class on embossing folders. And if you would like to learn the ultimate embossing folder technique, you need to come over and join our card club. You can do that at PelletierCraftStudios.com/event. And we do have them both online and in person. So jump over and come and see us. In the meantime, enjoy the things you craft because they're already in your craft room. Have a great day. Bye.